On this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers, we talk about Super Bowl referees that are currently teaching. We also are going to talk about different costs associated with going to college that are hidden fees and the cost of being a teacher, all the money that they have to spend in the classroom just to do their job. Guys, tune in. Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Hey everybody, welcome to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. My name is Devin Siebold. I've got my good buddy, Mr. James Jan, in the house. We are presented by Board Teachers, of course, and also don't forget to check me out on the current Board Teachers comedy tour. We're kicking off right now, literally hitting up all the Northeast and the Midwest, and then we're going over to the West Coast and Texas, and all those tickets are on sale right now. Be sure to check them out, and also find me online, devincomedy.com, and James Jan, we got to get you some followers, buddy. We got to get it up there.
I need people called co-signers in my life. So
that's true.
Same thing.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
But it's really cool for you guys to join us doing those 5-star ratings. I see them. I see you all sharing, commenting. Be sure to get that engagement up because we want other people to know about how awesome this podcast is because it is. It's the best.
The greatest podcast on the planet.
It is. We're kind of your relief after a long school day. And you're sitting in your car. You're like, I could cry, but I'd rather laugh. Let me put on Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Now, James, the Super Bowl just happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And we do not know the winner because we're filming this before the Super Bowl has happened, but it is coming out.
I can tell you that it wasn't Tom Brady.
It wasn't Tom Brady. We know that.
Yes.
Maybe it was, though. What if he got traded last minute?
He was there.
He's like, no, I have to play.
Exactly.
You know, but so the Super Bowl has just happened. A long time debate. Do you have the day after the Super Bowl off? I mean, it's been for teachers especially because I'm watching it. I'm watching the Super Bowl. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm getting the latest version of that Super Bowl. And the students are watching it, and they come into class, if they're awake, the first thing that they all talk about is the commercials. Yeah. We got to talk about the commercials. Yes. They're arguing with their friends. Did you see, Mahomes throw that but Brady this? It's become such a part of the culture of that school that day. Yeah. And I'm not wanting to work. They're not wanting to learn. The discussion's all over the place. Do you even bother?
No, you guys should do what you always do when you guys want to take a day off. What is those fake days off you guys? Teacher planning days?
Oh, yes, teacher planning day. We need one of those. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Fake days off, James.
I'm joking. I am
By the
joking.
way, James Jan, comedian at gmail.com for all hate mail. No, fake days off. So we work. We work.
You should have that day off. Nobody wants to be up there.
Yeah, I work up till 11. Yeah. And then I go on lunch. Yeah. And my lunch just happens to last a little longer than the usual lunch. The service was slow. Yeah. I get out of there at 3:30.
Wow.
And that's the way it works. But
I understand.
No, typical teacher work day, you got stuff going on. But yes, you're right. A teacher work day might be better because I can roll in a little later than the average day. I get a little sleep. Yeah, no pressure. Then the kids don't have to worry about it either.
That's right.
But that's why I think we should make it a national holiday. But maybe I'm wrong. Gotcha. But I just can't. It brings me, especially high school kids, because they're into football. They're and they get to party, and their parents are partying. They got to bring them to school the next morning. They got to no. And
I'm
for everybody.
Let's be honest. I'm usually hungover the next day. Not even alcohol. I'm talking food.
Oh yes,
hungover because I eat until I can't fit anything else in my body.
I know.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl for us isn't for 2 weeks. I'm already eating. I've already got wings in the smoker.
Bro, I had 8 potato skins.
Did you?
Before we got...
And that was just for breakfast.
Pretty much.
Now, one thing I did want to mention that I thought was pretty cool, I had a fan send this to me. This year's Super Bowl has a teacher as the official.
What?
Yeah, so they list this is the thing, I'd never known this until this guy sent it to me. He said, by the way, the Super Bowl officiating has been announced, and one of the back line judges is a high school teacher. And I was like, but he's a Super Bowl ref. And that's the thing is the funny thing is Super Bowl refs apparently have other jobs. I didn't know that. But
I didn't know either.
You go and they have a full list of the Super Bowl refs, and their occupation is next to it, which occupation for none of them lists Super Bowl ref, because that would be my occupation. I'm a referee. That's what I do. And get this, there's not one, there's an active teacher and there's a former teacher that are officiating the Super Bowl this year.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Jared Phillips, and the guy's name is Dino Pagnelli. Dino is the active teacher. He's a teacher in the Wyoming high school. And they're like, shouting him out on...
Of course.
That's a little bit of a conflict here, because I have been a teacher during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And students are like, Miss Siebold, who you got? And I don't think you can say who you have when you're a Super Bowl official.
I think you can at school if it's preceded by this.
Yeah. Little look around the corner, maybe. Apparently, this guy's been a high school ref or ref college games, and this is his second year refereeing or third year refereeing the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome, though, if you got to actually ref a Super Bowl game. But I will say this. If it's a teacher doing it, he goes to the high school's like football team games and he's like judgmental, like, oh, you're going to call that play? Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that in Super Bowl 34. But, it's what you want to do. You know?
It's up to you.
The irony is that Super Bowl officiating and teaching, same opportunities for head trauma. I'm telling you, it's about the same.
That's funny.
It's about the same. The violence level is
yeah.
up there. And the cool thing, too, about Phillips, that's one of the referees, he was an elementary school teacher, and then I believe he became a principal.
Oh, wow.
But I may be wrong. I think he became a principal. I may be wrong on that. But elementary teacher, I know for sure.
Okay.
This guy is now a ref and is the first ever Native American heritage referee. He's a Cherokee Indian. So that's pretty cool, too.
That's quite a contrasting kind of job, though. Like, one job, you deal with a bunch of whiny people who only want their way. Then the other one's you're a teacher.
You're a teacher. It's unbelievable, But imagine refereeing the most overpaid people in the world and going to a career with the most underpaid people. I mean, that's night and day.
That's night and day.
But he's doing it, and that's pretty cool, both of them. So shout out to them.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, but here's the thing. I will say even bigger shout out, because I was curious. I said, is refereeing in the NFL a part-time job? Do you know the salary?
I'm going to guess high, but I would guess it is part-time.
It is a salary.
It is a salary.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get it for the whole year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say starting out maybe $75,000.
$205,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Why are you still teaching?
Oh, wow.
Why are you still teaching?
Because he doesn't teach economics.
And you get, apparently not. Yes. And you get bonuses on top of it. And the kickbacks from throwing the game. I don't know. Wow. There's so many opportunities here. But I just...
Say it again.
$205,000.
To referee a game.
And he's a line judge. He's just looking at the lines. He's not even watching the plays, really. He's just checking out the line.
And how long is the season?
August to, February. Beginning of February.
Wow.
I know.
He still goes back to a school.
Goes back to a school. Yeah. But I was thinking about it. How could you maintain that job? But it's Sundays.
Yeah.
It's literally all Sundays. Occasionally you'd have to call out on a Monday or a Thursday.
Gotcha.
But really it's a Sunday job. So it's a weekend job. Shout out to them. Pretty cool little thing we got going on here with them.
Are they hiring?
They
Asking
might
for
be.
a friend.
Can you imagine blowing the call and having to go to work in on Monday?
No.
Oh, Frank, nice to see you. It's cool to see you walk into work. I don't know if you saw the touchdown that happened in front of you, but not everybody can see perfectly.
Gotcha.
I would.
That's funny because he goes through that.
Let's go ahead and go into the teachers in the news, Mr. Jan.
My favorite.
Now, we talked last time about some banning of books happening in the schools, remember? Yeah. And we talked about that one teacher who is asking to ban the books and the process you go through for that. I had an interesting conversation with my mom as she was packing up her books for her classroom.
Okay.
She is getting rid of all books in the class, and most of the teachers are in Florida. They are packing up all of their libraries because Florida, the FLDOE and DeSantis and everybody at the top, has decided to make it a third-degree felony to have a book that they disapprove of, and it is banned in your classroom.
So what you're basically doing is you're forcing these teachers to be afraid.
Yes.
And just take all books out of a classroom.
Yep, they're trying to avoid felony charges because they don't want. It's one of those things where you could potentially, keep the books in your class, but if the book list is changing. You could say, okay, well, I've gotten rid of all those books. I'm going to have these 20 books.
Yeah.
And then the next week, one of those 20 is banned. You've got it in your library. A kid notifies his mom. His mom reports you. What do? Come to the classroom, arrest the teacher in front of the kids and say, what are you arrested for? Well, that soft cover over there. Sorry about it. It's in my library. Didn't see it. It really is, like a dystopian future that I'm sitting here staring at where books are putting teachers in jail. That's the opportunity there. I don't know. To be honest with you, I almost want to go back to teaching. And the reason I want to go back to teaching is to stock my library full of those books
and see what happens.
Just wait for them to come through the door. Go ahead, arrest me.
Gotcha.
Give me that third-degree felony, and let's battle this out in court. Are you legally able to do this? Because unfortunately, somebody's going to have to be the scapegoat here. It's got to go before the courts, and in order for it to go before the courts, it has to be violated.
Somebody's going to do it.
Yeah,
eventually. But come on, let's just think about what we're actually saying here. Books are not allowed in the classroom.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that it's always put forth as we're trying to protect parental rights. And the thing that I think is absolutely hysterical, James, is I watched a school board meeting. Somebody was like, "Oh, look at this school board meeting. All the angry parents." And they show the crowd, and James, it looked like bingo night at the Villages. We've got 87-year-old people in the crowd going, "I don't want my son to read that. I don't want kids to read." Your kid is 67 years old.
Your son just retired.
Yeah. Your son can't read it because of the cataracts that are forming over their eyes. What are you doing there? But that's the thing is these people that watch this political theater play out on TV skew highly older, and they get so mad and they show up at these board meetings that are usually sparsely attended by the actual parents and people invested in the communities. I think you should be forced to say, I have a child here. Here's my license. This is the school they go to. Here's why it concerns me in order to speak at some of these meetings. But they don't. And that's sad.
That's past sad.
But it's also sad because, all this stuff is being decided by people that are long past having kids even in these school systems. And the thing is, they're probably so disconnected from any kids in their family now. They don't understand.
Absolutely not.
They don't know what TikTok is. They don't know what the kids, we're banning a book, son. You're going to do, what? A book? What's a book? You're banning, why is my teacher in handcuffs?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh,
all right. Speaking of teachers in handcuffs, so we didn't talk about it on this podcast. People were like, why didn't you address it? Well, because we kind of record a little bit in advance of some of the breaking news. I saw Teachers Off Duty had a pretty good take on the 6-year-old child that shot their teacher.
Yes.
I didn't want to break into that too much. The thing that I find interesting and such a reflection of our society is the school board met and ousted the superintendent. They're gone.
Yeah.
It always amazes me that we take action and go, that's okay, that's it, that solved the problem.
No.
That didn't solve the problem. But I was reading, I know in Richmond, the Virginia School Board met and they voted to oust the superintendent. The superintendent found out about what had happened about the missed calls because there was warning signs that they had skipped over in advance of the incident. Yes. And then so the superintendent went and talked to them and then was like, oh yeah, this is what had happened. And we're like, okay, well they've got to go. It's who did they? First off, I want to know who the teacher talked to.
That's what I want to know.
I want to know everybody in that school that knew. I want to know everything around that. I also want to know, I would love to know why the superintendent of the school is facing consequences before the parent that gave the child the gun.
Yes.
The 16. Why are we so far away from the source of the problems? I just don't understand.
Or anyone at the school itself.
Oh, yeah. Man. There's just so much that we immediately go, oh, well, whoever's in charge needs to go.
Yeah.
But what about the system that allowed this to happen? Can we correct the system at some point? Can we fix the source of the problem?
No.
Oh my! It's like, oh my gosh! Somebody was eaten by an alligator at Gatorland. You know, we should fire the president of Gatorland. Anyways, just leave those ropes that are frayed over there. They're fine. Just ignore the. You know, it's
Devin, bigger picture. Who created alligators?
Really,
we should find them. Yes.
I mean, what I would love to know myself.
Gotcha.
You know, I'll tell you, creationism has to pay. I just
Problem solved.
Again, it's one of those mind-numbing things that I gotta say something about that.
Yes.
You know, like, but it's tough not to play that role, you know, because I do. So here's the thing. One thing I'll address on this before we go into the next one is I went on my Facebook Live and I talked about something that was happening to teachers in Florida, and I got comments saying, "Stay out of politics," you know, and you should you'll lose fans. You're committing career, you know, suicide. You're gonna ruin you.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I'm sorry, where did you not think I would step in for teachers that are being wrongly mistreated?
Absolutely.
They're the people that support us. They're the people that I worked with. They're people that I know actively teaching. I know hundreds, thousands of teachers.
That's right.
My mom's a teacher.
Yes.
And they're like, but you are here for the jokes. It's like, I'm here for the jokes, but you can't. It's like, what? I'm here for so I'm the guy playing the violin as the Titanic sinks when I can clearly grab a lifeboat and say, hey, everybody get in.
That's right.
I'm not going to play the violin.
No.
I'm not going to be your entertainment. I will entertain you about the things that are going on. But if I see an opportunity to speak up for something, I'm going to speak up
And
for
I
it.
think you should, man. One of the things I've learned since being on this podcast is all the things I hear about teachers and the things that you guys went through and what you currently go through. They don't always have a voice.
No.
So you doing the things that you do, bringing up these issues and you reaching out to the people who are commenting, and you do them a great service. So to heck with those people.
To heck.
To heck with those people. Look at that.
All right, let's go into the last one. This one, James, I didn't know. So let's dial you back to your college days. You went to college?
I sure did.
Okay, now you went to college. What was the main purchases that you had to make as a college student?
Besides actually books and stuff like that?
No. So books is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so books.
Yeah,
they were
books.
expensive, right?
Very.
And they were costly. You had to buy the book.
Yes.
But then you could turn it back in, right?
And
you could get a
some
little
money back.
A little money. A
Yeah.
little GameStop, $250
There you go.
for your
Yeah.
$400 book. But that's the way it was,
Yeah.
okay? So that's something that I've kind of grown to understand about college. Apparently, college has become a little bit different nowadays. Now, you have kids
I have 4 of them.
in college?
All in college.
Yes. So a lot of book money. Yeah. Now, I have to ask about this because I didn't think it was true until I looked it up. Universities are going digital. To access the digital platform costs money. Mm-hmm. Are you serious right now? So, like, there was somebody online
Yes, it is.
saying that in order to access the content for their course, they had to pay $100,
Yeah.
$55 a semester, $120.
Yes.
The prices range from $80 to $155 per course. And these students are getting online access to the systems developed by the company. So it's literally paying to access the coursework that you're already paying for.
That is correct, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
James.
Yeah, sir. Who are you telling?
So your kids are paying for that stuff?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And they do it. They do it with a straight face, man.
Why?
Because this is how they do it. This is a new system, sir.
Digital access codes to access the textbook.
Yes.
But then you can't sell the textbook back.
No, you can't. That's the trade-off. Yeah. It's going to be more user-friendly for you. It's going to be right at your fingertips. Yeah.
Look at that. It's also, we have no out-of-pocket cost on this at all. We're simply collecting an absolute fortune on you. You schmuck.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to trade school? Did you tell your kids, plumbing's great?
I did.
You did?
I told them, listen, here's some of the jobs you can do without this. But no.
Oh my gosh. But the thing that blows my mind is the work studies and the actual work they have to do is somebody was saying you have to pay an access code between $150 and $200 just to access the actual work of the course.
That's crazy. I know. Yes.
What is going on?
You know what's going on.
Oh my gosh. Gotcha. I'm losing it.
You better make sure that book is approved. I don't care if it's digital.
I really can't.
Yeah.
I can't fathom that.
Yeah.
Just looking at that, it blows my mind. By the way, if you have news stories you want to share, Crying in My Car, send us over on any of the platforms, cryinginmycar@gmail.com. That's the email as well. Now, I put it online. I said, what's the most absurd thing that you have to pay for in your own job? And the first thing that I got was one that I had forgotten about. But apparently this is a big one. $100 background check to become a substitute. And then this person said, I also have to pay another $100 to get a student teacher license for a background check because they can't cross-reference. Same district can't cross-reference the info. And then if you choose to volunteer, another $100 background check.
What?
Yep. Volunteers are handled by you. And substitutes are handled by you, and we cannot share information. It's just so much.
That's pure
Let's
bureaucracy,
give somebody bureaucracy. You're absolutely right.
Lord.
It's he needs a job and he needs a job, so there's two different jobs that you have to pay for them to do.
Gotcha.
But the $100 background check, I think, is absurd.
Fire two of those organizations and give teachers more money.
Background checks to me should be like a universal thing. I mean, like, why you have to pay to see if somebody's safe? I don't understand that. And also, you're paying the government to do a government background check.
Yes.
You already have the info. I mean,
Why do you have to do this again?
Yeah. Other teachers said tissue, paper towels, table wipes, and trash cans for their classroom.
Wait a minute.
They have to pay for the trash can for their class.
They don't provide trash cans anymore.
I didn't have. It's funny that this person mentioned that because I remember one year my trash can missing over the summer, and when I came back in, I didn't have one. And I asked for one, and they were like, "We don't have any," and I had to pay for a trash can.
We don't have any.
I had to buy a trash can.
Really?
Yep.
we don't have any.
What blows my mind too is teachers don't even talk about this, but when you buy something for your class, like a trash can, technically the school usually has to inventory it, and then it becomes theirs. That was the thing that we had problems with. They would give us a little bit of money and be like, "Here, you have $250 to spend. By the way, everything you buy becomes ours."
Got it.
So you can buy it, but now it's ours.
Yeah.
But this is your own personal money. I've never understood that. Soaps for sink for a science lab, paper towels for a science lab. That was one of them as well. HDMI cords to project the screen on the board. Yeah, using the projector that the school purchased.
But you don't get a cord.
No, you don't. You got to think really hard up there. You know, you got to just try to. That needs to go up there. How do I get it out? It's just I don't know. I don't know what you're even thinking. That's typical school though, to buy you something, but not buy you what you need to use that something with. This one says at the beginning of their career, I used to teach home ec.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised we still have that in some schools. And said that she used to have to pay for all the groceries out of pocket and then wait to be reimbursed. So the class where you learn how to cook needs food to cook.
Nah.
Or it's not an easy bake oven, bro. It's not.
And I bet
I'd be sitting there. If that had to come out of my money, I'd be like, okay, we got the Play-Doh steak and we are putting it on the Play-Doh broccoli. And
she was not shopping at Whole Foods, man. She had to buy it herself.
No, that is pure Aldi.
Yeah.
All right.
Family Dollar sells seafood.
Now this
Got it.
this is my favorite one that I read. Well, I got another favorite one, but this one I thought was genius. We're required to park in an assigned spot, but they didn't paint the numbers on the spots and the lines are barely visible. When we asked about it, they said that we would have to buy our own paint and paint the parking lot ourselves.
Stop, man.
You're in parking lot 7. Where's 7? We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
It's wherever you put a 7.
There you go.
I don't know. I would if I'm paying in the parking lot by myself, I'm putting the numbers where I want my number to be.
Yep.
It is going right up.
Mine would be on the front, on the sidewalk.
Spot 1, 2, 3, 12.
12.
And 4. Yeah. This one is really, really important to me because I hate it. And they've started to do away with it in a lot of states because it makes you so mad. Okay. Courses and tests that you have to take or lose your job. So they're like, hey, you have to take this course, which, by the way, the course is $150. You have to take this test to become or stay certified. By the way, the test is $200 every time you take it. It's incredibly hard to pass. You may take it 7 or 8 times. You're going to pay out of pocket each and every time for it.
Every time?
Yep.
So if I fail it twice, I'm paying $400.
Yes, and that's the thing that they started to do in Florida a long time ago was these tests to get into teaching were so expensive, and you had to pay for them every time you took it, and it got progressively harder over the years. And oddly enough, the testing profit went up. How did that happen?
Yeah,
they just made it a little bit harder, made a little more money. It's like, oh, we're behind on our payments. Okay, well, let's make number 3 all the above. You know, it's like they'll never guess it. You know?
That's crazy. They're making the test harder and harder. It's gotten to the point now. It's like, okay, here's a question for you: how do you end world hunger? And go.
By the way, short answer.
Yeah.
Water cooler each month. Somebody said that they had to pay a fee to use the water cooler in the school.
That can't be real.
$4 a month per person to use the water cooler. Which, by the way, $4 refills that thing like 17 times.
Absolutely.
I don't know why. I would literally be like, I'm not paying $4. By the way, here's tap water for everybody.
There you go.
And this last one, James, I cried laughing when I read this one. My friend was voluntold. They basically were said, hey, you have to chaperone the dance. When he got to the dance, was told he had to pay a ticket to get in to chaperone it. He had to buy the ticket to chaperone the dance that he was told he had to chaperone.
That's horrible.
Give me a break.
Gotcha.
No? So the only thing that I remember I had to buy that outraged me is my pencil sharpener fell off the wall 1,000,000 times. And it broke all the time.
Yes.
And I remember I asked to have a pencil sharpener put permanently in my room, or an electric one. And they gave us one year a budget of $250 to buy things for our classroom. And I was like, sweet. I bought an electric pencil sharpener that sat on my desk. They said because it was an electric pencil sharpener that sat on my desk, it became furniture. And they made me reimburse them the $60 because furniture was not allowed.
Okay, first off, I don't remember the last time I sat down on a pencil sharpener.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember.
I also don't remember. Did your wife walk into the living room? This needs a pencil sharpener. It doesn't feel like home. You know, I mean, I'm just...
Well, how did they come up with this stuff,
I don't know.
Oh,
I
my
argued.
God.
I got that email and I responded to the lady. I was like, I literally, and I'm not making this up because I got in trouble for this. I said, do you hear yourself? You're telling me a pencil sharpener is furniture. And she's like, yeah, it's under the guidelines. I said, I'm listening. Do you hear yourself?
No. Yeah.
It is not furniture. There's not, but sure enough, they took it out of my paycheck the next time. They took it back. But this is the thing that made me so mad. They took the $60 out of my paycheck. And I said, great. Do I get the $60 back to buy another pencil sharpener? She said, no, it was misused in the beginning, so you forfeit it. Wow. They took the $60 and I didn't get it to buy anything for the...
See, Devin, you don't get it, sir. We gave you that money with good intentions.
Yeah, and what's funny is people still look at me and go, do you want to go back to teaching? So I could buy more pencil sharpeners and just fill the room up with pencil sharpener furniture. You're out. I don't have any desks. I have a pencil sharpener. Sit the pencil sharpener. Give me a break. Anyways. God. All right, James, where can people find you online, buddy?
Please follow me on Instagram at James Yan Comedian. Please, please, please. I make some funny content out there. I would love for you guys to definitely comment, like it, and follow me.
Yes, absolutely. Follow him. He needs to get his follower count up. Also, be sure to find me online, Devin Siebold, if you don't follow me already. you hopefully do now. And be sure to check out that Board Teacher Comedy Tour coming to a city near you. And James, you got comedy coming up too, right? You're doing a lot of stuff.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. We actually are doing some stuff where I work. As you know, we have another season of Funny Not Famous.
Funny Not Famous. I was on that.
You were on that.
Check that out. You're taping that soon, right?
Gotcha. And I also have a GoFundMe for pencil sharpeners.
Pencil
sharpeners.
You guys, absolutely. Our next broadcast, actually, we're going to be sitting on pencil sharpeners.
Yeah.
So tune in next week. Thank you so much for listening and watching Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. There might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that, But us, suggested things. That's us, Crying in My Car. Devin, Siebold, James, Yon, Board Teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.